Microphones are a really interesting concept in the tech or even gaming tech space. You've got many new, many old, and today we're going to be talking about the latter form, an older microphone, in the Blue Yeti microphone. The folks at Blue Microphone were kind enough to send me out a 10th anniversary edition of the Blue Yeti USB microphone to check out, review, test out, see what it was good at, and I have my thoughts for you in this video, so let's get started. Hey there and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to have you here for this Blue Yeti review video. I'm excited to check out the Blue Yeti because I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about it from previous people who've had the microphone, people who have the microphone currently, and I was excited to formulate my own opinion on the microphone. Thank you again to Blue for sending me this thing out. I had a lot of fun cutting the box open, doing a little unboxing and checking it out. So straight out of the box of the Blue Yeti, you've got of course your bare necessities. You've got the microphone itself, the stand and the cable, and this really nice 10th anniversary edition box. Obviously not every Blue Yeti microphone you're going to buy is going to be a 10th anniversary, but this one is. One thing that I learned about the Blue Yeti microphone that I actually didn't know beforehand is that they actually come with 4 different setting options. You can use the microphone as a cardioid microphone, an omnidirectional or bidirectional, or even a stereo microphone. The side of the box will actually list the different settings that it has and what those each settings are really good for. In this instance, I'm a game streamer, content creator, that kind of a person who would use the microphone for that purpose, so I set my mic up on the cardioid setting. For those who may not know what cardioid or omnidirectional may potentially mean, it is referred to as a polar pattern in audio. It basically means where the microphone will pick up sound from and how much basically around it will pick up. If you notice on the side of the box, there is a little drawing on the side of the box with a person, or in some cases 2 people, talking into the microphone at once, showcasing which way the microphone is needing to be positioned based on each setting. Not a lot of microphones I've ever used have actually come with something informative or educational like this, so major props to Blue for including something like this for potentially a beginner content creator or someone who's not well versed in audio. As with any products that I talk about and review on this channel, you can find a link in the description below to anywhere you can potentially purchase the Blue Yeti microphone. I unfortunately didn't have a free mic arm that was able to support the Blue Yeti's mounting style, which is kind of unfortunate, but that also in turn got me to be able to experience the benefits of the Blue Yeti stand. I'm a huge fan of microphones that come with stands. If your mic does not include a stand, even if it's a really cheap one, you lose major points for me. Especially if you're buying something on the beginner end of the spectrum, you're gonna want a stand because the chances are you're not gonna have a mic arm with it. The stand on this microphone and the microphone in general is really well built, is really solid. Neither are too heavy, but obviously, of course, they do weigh a little bit, so be careful, you know, carrying it in a bag or anything like that you want to keep lightweight. The microphone has 4 buttons, 2 on either side. On the front-facing side with the Blue logo, you have the mic mute button, which is a fantastic feature, and I really enjoy microphones that have this. The only thing that really confused me about this mute button was the way that it displayed if you were muted or not. It would flash red if it was muted, but it would be a solid red if you were on. It would have been nice if they could potentially have distinguished this between a red and say green, green meaning on and live, and red meaning mute. I do take these to be pretty universal and standard, so when it flashed red, it kind of confused me. Below that, you've got the volume knob for the low latency audio monitoring, as it's got a headphone jack on the underside. On the back, you've got a gain dial and a pattern setting dial as well. The pattern setting does have the little logos to indicate which pattern you are choosing. As I mentioned, for the purpose of this, as I am a content creator, I used cardioid, so I set it up on cardioid and the lowest gain setting possible. The low latency audio monitoring is pretty solid as well. Really enjoyed it, and it is much faster than monitoring it straight out of your OBS. When monitoring out of OBS, just generally there is usually a few second delay or some kind of delay of that nature, which can really throw you off. It makes you feel like somebody else is trying to talk to you when it's just you and what you've said. So having this audio monitoring through the actual microphone is a really nice feature. So now it's time for the audio test. I did have to give this a couple of goes due to some issues with room noise and background noise and some just gain and volume settings, but I got it in the end, and I'm gonna play it for you now and let you make your opinion as to what you think of the mic. I once made a mistake thinking Ra's al Ghul was dead. Though when men make themselves symbols, they shed their morality. Henry Ducard and Jonathan Crane are already gone, just like Bruce Wayne. He's only a mask, a cover for the face criminals fear. All that's left is Batman. So overall, it sounds pretty nice. It's, you know, not the highest quality on the market, but it is certainly a really solid mic if you're just looking for a mic to use. If you're looking to expand it, it could absolutely be expanded in something like Audacity or a Voicemeeter where you can control how this audio sounds. As I mentioned before I played the audio, it did pick up a fair bit of background noise in my earlier tests that I did before this one that I'm showing you. As you may be able to potentially see on the box here, the little drawing with cardioid has it shown to be only picking up things in front of the microphone, and I took that as fantastic because that's what everybody wants. But when I did, I had an air conditioning running behind the microphone that I thought it wasn't going to pick up, but it still did. Of course, this is not a major issue. Of course, this is not something that would totally rule me out of purchasing this. But if you're somebody who's potentially creating a podcast or content creating, you might want to keep it in mind and really look into audio software to go along with it. This thing absolutely does shine with audio software, and I'd love to see what you potentially could do with it. The mic retails currently on Amazon from $190 to $200, depending the model and color that you pick. And I think this is a really good budget option for something like your Zoom classes for university or school, or your work from home meetings, or anything of that nature. I would totally recommend it for beginner content creation as well. I know many of people who started on a Blue Series microphone. I started myself on a Blue Snowball many years ago, and I still have my Snowball, and I love that little thing. Don't use it anymore, but it still has a very prideful spot on my shelves. If you're a content creator, I'd 100% recommend looking into something like a software like Voicemeeter or anything like that to potentially really get the full benefit out of this microphone. This microphone's a really solid option if you don't want to spend too much, but you want to get some quality out of it as well. Turning down the gain, say artificially, in a software like Voicemeeter, and, you know, mixing with the bass and the mids and the trebles and things like that will really see this microphone shine. I know this microphone is used by a lot of people nowadays that are homebound musicians who can't, you know, perform on the street or in a pub anymore. They use it for their live streams or their content online, and it has been something musicians have used for a while. And you can absolutely see why, because it shines in recording softwares. Making a microphone sound great isn't necessarily about just genuinely how the microphone sounds when you unbox it and plug it in straight out of the box. It's also heavily about knowing how to use the product. If you spend an hour or two learning an audio software that will help you run it through your live stream or through your Zoom with a nicer sound, it's going to come out with a really nice sound, and you're going to impress people with the sound. So overall, really solid microphone, really good budget option if you're looking to go a little bit beyond, say, the $100 price point for a little bit more quality. I think it's really good for that, really good for Zoom meetings, for university students, high school students, and work from home meetings. And if you're looking to get into content creation and you don't want to go full send on a $500-600 mic, this is certainly a solid option for that. But thank you so much for watching the video today. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or issues, please drop them in the comment section below. I'd love to respond to you and do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a fantastic rest of your time zone, and until next time, bye-bye.